Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of the Tone Tailors Podcast. My name's Levi McCurdy, and this is episode number 5. And before we jump into this week's incredible conversation, I just need to let you guys know, the listeners, the fans, the Tone Tailors customers, thank you. Thank you so much for your support, your listens, your downloads, your views, your comments, your feedback. Every single ounce of feedback and support that we have gotten on the first 4 episodes of this Tone Tailors podcast has been nothing but incredible, and we can't thank you enough. I believe the first 4 episodes thus far have already gotten us, over 1,000 downloads? So shout out to you guys. Thank you for the support and the continued viewership of the Tone Tailors podcast. With that being said, we are switching to a bi-weekly model, so we will be dropping 2 episodes every month for the foreseeable future. So be on the lookout for that. Starting this month here in August with our episode 5 guest. It's Mitch and the crew behind the Lancaster Music Festival. If you've never been, if you've been every year, you are going to want to tune in to this conversation. We learn everything about the music festival, from the headliners to the other bands and artists performing, the food, the vendors, the history of the festival, the charity behind it all, the whole 9 yards. You are not going to want to miss a minute of this conversation. So please, enjoy my time talking to Mitch and the crew behind the Lancaster Music Festival. And if you haven't bought your tickets already, be sure to do so before 7:66. The Lancaster Music Festival. Enjoy. Get to the festival, I want to take a step back and just the road leading up to the first music festival. Give me your guys' history and backgrounds. When and how did music and just being in this space kind of enter your lives? Has it always been there? What's kind of give me your backstories here.
Yeah, I'll let Mitch go first, and then we can talk a little bit more about the festival itself and where that generated from.
Sure. Well, I've been in and around music for most of my life, both as a fan as well as a musician. I've played in a number of bands when I was younger, and then kind of left the music space for a long time. Building a career and so forth. But, when my family moved to Lancaster, we discovered that it has a really rich music scene. And that was one of the things we loved about it when we moved here. And so I would say probably in the last 10 years, I've, become a lot more connected to music, especially in the context of Lancaster.
That's incredible. Yeah, we're all over the timeline here with this podcast and these interviews. I've gone all the way back to the 80s with Rich Ruoff and the Chameleon Club and everything he's done in Lancaster, and all the way up until, like you just say, it's up to 10 years ago, up until now. So it's great to hear that. Incredible. So like you said, the origin story of the festival. When was the exact moment when you thought, hey, we need a music festival in Lancaster? And how quickly did someone tell you it was a fantastic idea?
Well, I think we knew it was a fantastic idea from the beginning, but it was probably like 2017, 2018 when we really looked at it and decided that we wanted to create that space. Buchanan Park has always kind of been near and dear to both of us. I grew up going to the Loyalty Day Carnival and other things that had been in that space. And, was at a place and time in my career where we were able to kind of step back and look and think about how we wanted to create community and what the power of community was. And so, the festival itself has always kind of had two purposes, right? It is a great opportunity to get together and enjoy a day in the park and celebrate live music in Lancaster, but then it's also comes with a purpose in terms of the beneficiaries with Children's Miracle Network and their music therapy program, and the wonderful work that Schreiber Pediatric is doing here in Lancaster County. And so, we give them a stage to kind of amplify their impact in between sets and share their story and be present. And somebody buying a ticket probably wouldn't even necessarily know that 100% of the ticket sales go, to Schreiber Pediatric and Children's Miracle Network.
Wow.
Like it is a donation, and the sponsors and the partners of the event underwrite and cover the cost to produce the festival.
Fund it, right? Yeah. No, that was a such a fun little fact that I learned when just doing my research on you guys and the festival in general. The donation to the Miracle Network and the Pediatric Center, incredible. So you said they have like kind of, you give them their opportunity on stage. I was going to say, how involved are they like the day of the festival, assuming?
Oh, yeah, no, very involved the day of.
Yeah.
So they'll bring, a family and a child, usually for a 2 to 4 hour block to kind of be there and enjoy it. And but their staff is there the entire time. They have, some tented areas where they're meeting and sharing more about their mission and answering questions. And then, they get the opportunity, usually the last two slots, like of the day before the headliner and before the opening act, they'll get on stage and present for 5 to maybe 10 minutes.
Incredible.
Yeah, I want to go back to something Jeremy said before. I mean, our mission is, amplifying impact with the power of community.
Yeah.
And we see the stage as, and the microphone is a big piece of that. Because, they're getting an audience. These organizations that are doing such great work here, are getting an audience with people they might not have been in front of for some time, right? And so Lancaster Music Fest is about getting them the opportunity to get their message out to a group of folks who want to hear it, even if they didn't know they wanted to hear it. Right? They're coming to enjoy a day in the park with live music, but they're also learning about these great organizations right here in Lancaster.
Yeah, and that's an incredible cause. How do you go about finding and choosing bands when it comes to a multi-act festival like LMF?
So, that's kind of a continuous process, I would say. I mean, we, since starting maybe about the second or the third year, we've always been very open to receiving opportunities. People send us their information, their videos, request to perform. Really, our only criteria, like there's no genre specific, but is that it's family friendly, because we partner with the public library system as well and their summer reading program. And so if you've seen any of the photos in the past of the event, like almost half of the people that are there are under the age of 12.
Okay.
So, it is a family-friendly music festival, and we want to maintain that in terms of what we're producing. There is a group that gets together usually after the festival to kind of debrief and then start looking at the following year. And we can't really book any of the acts until our permit is approved, and that happens sometime in the first quarter of each year.
Yeah.
So,
Okay. No, that's it's I can only imagine of if it sometimes might become a daunting task with the amount of submissions. We did a battle of the bands last year with Tone Tailors, and we got, I think, like a couple hundred
right.
bands that we've got to go through and listen to and categorize and kind of figure out. So it's it's what is there? Talk to me, and I'm more I'm also kind of a business guy. So talk to me about the business side of things, the marketing. You said you have to get permits to do this. We have to get approvals. I mean, there's so much more that goes into kind of running and hosting an event like this than just picking 5 or 6 bands, getting 5 or 6 sponsors, and then we're good to go. We have staff, I'm sure we have to have
Yeah.
security. So,
I mean, it's all pretty much volunteer in terms of the day of. We have people and the setup. Some people volunteer for the entire thing. We're looking usually for a minimum of like a 4-hour shift. And then, of course, they get in return, admission to the event for themselves and usually one other person. So we want to, treat our volunteers the way we would want to be treated and give them the opportunity to enjoy. But yeah, I mean, the logistics and the business side of it, I would say, it has kind of become a pretty well-oiled machine that we don't tweak too much. The city of Lancaster and the Office of Promotion really partners with us very well because they're the ones that have to approve the security plan and any road closures or sidewalk closures and ultimately, issue the permit. It's just, it's a government process. So, and we've seen it evolve from just being on paper and having to drop the application off with a check to now it's like a multiple step form process, and they've really improved internally the review and how it works, and we pay electronically. And so, there's a small group of us that kind of steer the whole thing and are working on it at different times throughout the year. But nobody's really paid to do it or to own it. That's where Mitch and I come in.
Nice. Okay. Have you ever had or like, what is one of the like single biggest like, oh crap moments you've had like in the middle of a festival day, and how did you recover from that?
Well, there's several.
Okay, let's go. Let's go through them. Hit me with a couple.
The second year, the MC didn't show up.
Okay, for the entire day, you had an
Yeah,
MC.
we had to punt and
Okay.
figure it out.
Okay.
And they had been like a returning MC. And so like we were like, yeah, we've got that taken care of.
Right.
And then we're like, all right, we need to start making announcements. And like, oh, he's not here.
Oh no.
So so we scrambled, and Mitch and came up with a solution, and it was all fine. Another time, the portable toilets didn't arrive until like the evening before instead of at 9 a.m. And if there's one thing that you have to have at an outdoor venue that doesn't have public restrooms, it's portable toilets. Like that goes really badly. And so the vendor had been sold, and while we were communicating with them, like they didn't think that it needed to be there until Saturday. And I was like, yeah, no, we set up on Friday. So, get them here as quickly as possible. So yeah, I mean, I'm sure Mitch has others, but it's just no shortage of solving problems on the fly.
I think the biggest oh crap moment for me every year is it going to rain or is it not going to rain?
Oh, okay.
It's a rain or shine event.
Okay.
And I would say most year or half the years, maybe it rains
for some
part of it, but we've done the festival rain or shine, and people have a great time either way.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. We always think they're going to scatter. And last year was kind of, well, I guess the last 2 years, if you look at it, we got 45 minutes into the headliner and it downpoured for 15 minutes.
Oh,
Now, it had been ungodly hot
uh-huh.
that entire time.
Uh-huh.
So the rain was actually pretty welcome, but it shut everything down because there was just too much water
Right.
in too short of a period of time. And then last year, people were having a great time, and it started to rain. It rained for several hours, but then it got sunny, and everybody came back out.
Yeah.
And some people stayed the whole time. And I mean, it's I still worry about it. I think I share Mitch's concern, but having seen it go so many different ways, short of like 3 days of rain and the ground being soft, like I don't stress out about it the same way I used to.
Yeah, no, that's so then what happens then? Everything just kind of has to pause. The attendees can kind of do whatever they want to do, but you guys have to we got to cover all electronics. Like is that
Yeah.
kind of a mad dash to keep everything dry?
And that's, Stray Productions out of Lidditz is who
Mm,
handles all of the stage.
mhm.
It's their gear, it's their sound people.
Okay.
So, it's their call in the contract as to whether we can keep playing or not. I mean, the stage is covered. A lot of these things are relatively water resistant. And
Sure.
we didn't have any interruptions last year, even though it was raining.
Okay.
But in a absolute downpour where there is danger from water and electricity and things shorting out, like they'll pull the plug on it pretty quick.
Okay. Wow. Okay. Okay. Interesting. And then, but never, we've never had a day where the rain is completely just kind of postponed and taken over the entire festival.
It's not an option. Doesn't
No.
happen.
Okay, good. Perfect.
Never happened.
Perfect.
Never will happen.
Perfect. Segueing into some of the artists here. Quick random off the wall question, and I highly doubt they do just because of the small town festival vibes, but I've heard all sorts of requests over the years of like artists not getting on stage until like a meatball sub is delivered to them, or like sorting the M&M colors. Have you ever had any bizarre requests from your artists?
I think that also in that selection process, um, it's a conversation. Like everything that we do, whether it's the artists or the sponsors or the underwriters or the beneficiaries, like everything is a partnership
Mhm,
as far as we're concerned.
mhm,
And so we want to pay the artists, the market rate for what they're doing. We don't ask them to do anything at a discount.
mhm.
Um, and we do explain to them that, there's a portion of the contract that is, spending some time and meeting and greeting, and, that the whole thing is a benefit, and any kind of odd requests that they might have been thinking they wanted to make, or riders, generally go right out the window when we say, well, we're going to pay your price, and we're not making any money.
Right,
This whole thing is a benefit, and we want you to understand that
right.
and work with us, because the more tickets we sell, the more money we can give away.
Yep. No, that's perfect. Yeah, I wouldn't expect any less. All right. So speaking of those artists, let's go through the 2025 lineup one by one for any of the audience or listeners who don't know these people or the vibes or genre. Starting at the top, the Young Musician Academy.
Yeah.
Talk to me about these guys.
So Julia Jordan Commanda has been in touch with us over the years, and she actually lives on like the State Street College Park area there near Franklin and Marshall, and she has a program that works with young musicians to help them develop and determine what it is that they're truly interested in and kind of learn and grow. And we had talked a couple of years about getting them on stage, and what could we do, because we do have a large audience of younger individuals as well, to show people that are there, hey, like this is a venue like this. These kids are doing this. And this year it just kind of all worked out because the second act that we have, Sarah Fiore, she really only has like maybe 30 to 45 minutes that she can play, and we're always looking for about 90.
Yeah.
And so, of course, these kids don't have 90 minutes either.
Right. So we got it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the two just are really symbiotic, and we are looking forward to seeing what they do. So, want to give them that opportunity to be there as the opener.
Nice. I'm assuming it's just a mix up of some kids' instruments, some are singing or whatever.
My complete faith is in Julia.
Okay.
So
All right.
she's working with the production team, and they're going to knock it out of the park.
Awesome.
So.
Awesome. You just mentioned the next name, Sarah Fiore.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And she is out of Lancaster as well.
That's a really good question. I know that she's Central Pennsylvania, I believe. So Mitch might be able to speak to that a little more.
I know she's from the Lancaster area.
Okay.
I don't know precisely where she's based.
Yeah, she's good friends with Mark DeRose, who is also, involved in the festival. Mark DeRose and the Dreadnoughts have played a couple of times, and so he brought Sarah to us as somebody that has a solo career right now, and is we really liked what we saw and felt like it was a good fit. We'll typically go more singer-songwriter earlier in the day than later as we start to ramp up towards the headliner. So
okay. Nice, perfect. And I'm probably gonna pronounce Ogham Stones. Am I saying?
Yeah, the Ogham Stones. Yeah, they've been after us for a couple of years,
okay.
and we're excited to have them. We know a number of the band members, and great local following. Certainly, more along the lines of a very specific niche in terms of what they perform.
Okay.
And we usually, have at least one performance that is something like that. So, we were happy to be able to work with them this year.
And what is that? Is it just kind of like
Celtic,
like
Irish?
Okay, Celtic,
Yeah.
Irish. Gotcha. Okay.
Down in the county down one morning last July. Down at Bowling Green came a sweet Colleen, and she smiled as she passed me by. She looked so sweet from her 2 brown feet to the sheen of her nut brown hair. So coaxing help, like I shook myself to see I was really there. From Bantry Bay to Terry Cay, Galway to Dublin town. No maid I seen like my brown Colleen that I met at the county down.
Okay, that's it can be. I've been to another one of my many jobs is I DJ weddings on the weekend, and just every once in a while these random events or things will happen at a wedding, and we had an Irish Celtic tap dance routine with the bride's daughter and like her whole thing.
Oh wow!
So it could be I've a big fan of that music. Bailey Run.
Yeah, so Bailey Run actually was the very first band to ever perform at Lancaster MusicFest. They opened it in 2018.
Yeah.
And so, they've really progressed in terms of what they're doing, and, reached back out to us this year. And ultimately, we were able to work them in as the opener for Kelly Bell Band. And, we've seen them perform live a couple of places here recently. At Metropolis and I think
Stoner Grill.
Yeah, Stoner Grill. Yeah.
Yep.
The work that, David's doing there is awesome. So.
And the headliner, Kelly Bell Band, talk to me about their style, their genre. What can people expect when they hit the stage?
Fat blues.
Fat blues. Okay.
It's just a really good time. And, this will be the third time that they've played the festival. And I think we're probably all a little bit partial to them.
Yeah.
I will say that one of the things that we've looked at just over the years is, do we try to go really big with a headliner that is going to draw and sell tickets and maybe has a much higher price point, but it doesn't match with what we're actually doing,
Right.
because then we just end up paying the headliner more. Most people are there to have a good day in the park and to listen to live music.
Yeah.
They're not there to see a specific band.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say nobody comes for that, but Kelly Bell has yet to disappoint. We really love the energy. They have a long connection, at the Blue Star and some other venues. I think they've also recently played over at the Village, and just what they bring in terms of performance and energy. It's if you haven't seen it before, it's definitely worth checking out.
And they're not from Lancaster, but they are from Baltimore, so they're not far away.
Gotcha. Yeah. Do you know off the top of your head, are they all independent, or do any of them have label or deal record label or whatever the industry term is these days?
I don't believe so, but I wouldn't, specifically know. I would say that like Kelly Bell's the only one that has an agent that we deal with from a booking perspective.
Gotcha.
So
Okay. Yeah, and that we're trying to just talking to a vast array of our friends through Lancaster and the music scene. It's I'm fascinated with where we've gone from the like 80s, 90s, early 2000s form of everyone needs a record deal to then just, well, maybe we just need a manager, and now it's what's a manager versus an agent, and it's just a very interesting space. Okay, cool. So the festival, one day, right?
Correct. Noon to 8 p.m.
Have we considered expanding to like a multi-day, potentially kind of situation?
Oh, that's my favorite conversation. Mitch really enjoys it because I would do it in a heartbeat. I probably wouldn't have any family members, friends, or wife left.
Okay.
Because it is a volunteer event.
Sure.
So, and we've even looked at, do we do a shorter format? But we feel like we've settled into kind of 2-hour slots and a pretty good system, and everything scales and works. And the day of, it's so much fun that you think, why wouldn't we do this for 2 days?
Yeah.
And then you get back to reality and say, oh, well, we're not, this is not our full-time job.
Right.
This is not a profit-based event. This is what can we do in the community, and how can we create an experience, and how can we have an impact and help other organizations have an impact. And ultimately, I think the one-day format is what we settle back onto. But it's been a conversation. So,
do you think it would ever, even keeping it in that one day format, do you think it would ever scale to become like a nationally known kind of music festival, or do we?
Wait, it's not.
It's not nationally known.
Oh, well, so I apologize. I'm so sorry.
No. So we get confused with the Music Fest in Allentown, and then also the Music Fest in Lancaster, Germany. We've got a lot of people that buy tickets for the Music Fest in Lancaster that are need to be refunded because they thought it was sometime in August, and that it was in Germany, not in Lancaster, Pennsylvania. So,
gotcha.
But I would say that our vision or our goal has always been, how do we fill Buchanan Park with 2,500 to 3,000 people that are all there to have the same experience, whether they know it or not, and are contributing to the outcome.
Yeah, I would. Apologies. Yes.
No, there's no need to apologize.
Just in this, I think so. Okay. So you have the capacity to do what? You said 2,500 people.
We think in terms of parking and what's around it, and some of the relationships that we have, I mean, it does get to be a little bit of a logistical nightmare the closer that you get to those numbers.
Okay.
So
So we probably just then the little bit less than that would maybe be the overall
yeah,
goal of every year. Okay. And what can we expect here? What are we looking at? $25 for general admission prior to the show, a little bit more than that the day of. And
correct. Yeah, and that's really kind of the entire thing is we've already sold a number of tickets because we recognize that there's different price points that people can afford. And so our entire summer reading program from June to the end of July is targeted at, being able to have kids come with a paying adult and get a free t-shirt and be there and have the experience. And through the end of July, which of course, we're talking past tense right now, even the $25 general admission ticket is 50% off. So for, $12.50, you can buy a ticket through July 31st each year. And then, we get into the last 30 days of ticket sales. And I will say that no matter what, it's always the last 10 days where 65% of the tickets are sold. And whatever this stupid phone says is going to happen with the weather, even if it's like just raindrops maybe at 2 o'clock in the morning, but it says that it's going to rain on Saturday, like that impacts people's willingness to buy. So we're always looking at the weather prediction from the standpoint of how it will impact our pre-sales.
Okay. Good. No, the whole last 10 days, 10 minutes thing. I totally get it. Just again, back to the whole DJing weddings thing. You would not believe every single ceremony that we go to, it's supposed to start at 4 o'clock. Okay. It's like 3:45 and no one is here and we're freaking out. The bride is expecting 80 plus people. We've only got her family members, maybe 10 or 12 people are here, but there's so many empty seats. What do? We don't want the bride to be discouraged. And then, 3:55 rolls around and the floodgates open. And it's just this psychology that just doesn't, to me, doesn't make sense. I always try to be at least 15 minutes early, but we do our best. Wow. Okay. So, Lancaster Music Festival, we've got the Children's Miracle Network, the music therapy program at Penn State, Schreiber Center for Pediatric Development. What does do you know any detail on what the music therapy program at Penn State Health, what that entails or
Oh yeah,
what they kind of
we're very familiar with that, and
talk to me
we
about
have
that. Yeah.
a video that we just updated actually this morning on
Okay.
our website. I when I first heard the terminology music therapy, I was like, oh, you teach sick kids how to play instruments,
Yeah.
what, but it's actually a lot more scientific than that. And the program has grown tremendously
Okay.
in Hershey.
Yeah.
So whether it is just calming energy and things that have a rhythm that go with them, it's immensely effective in pain management, in soothing, in distraction, whatever it might be, just engagement with these kids. And it's a board certified program. So
Okay.
And Lancaster Music Fest has even helped bring music therapy or expand music therapy into the emergency department at Penn State Health Children's Hospital. So, yeah, I mean, they use it in a whole lot of different contexts.
So if a child comes into the emergency room and they feel that it might be necessary,
it's something they can basically prescribe. Yeah.
they can prescribe an instrument or some boom whackers or whatever.
It comes with a therapist,
Yeah.
right?
The board certified music therapist is part of the treatment team. They're
Okay.
part of the integrated treatment team. And so if the treating physician thinks it's important or necessary or would be helpful, they can have the board certified music therapist come in and be part of the treatment team prior to, during, or after a procedure. And it's for the patient and sometimes even for the patient's family to try to make that experience more bearable.
And this isn't just like they're not. Are they? Or maybe they are. But is it more than just like putting headphones on with like ASMR and white noise? Or okay.
No, absolutely. I mean, I think the video is like 1:30. I don't know. I mean, I'd love to watch it with you because I just watched it this morning. Are we able to do that?
Yeah,
on
absolutely,
this?
100%.
Yeah. So if you hit the website underneath about.
Yep.
There is, a video next to Why Children's Miracle Network.
Jake's just like any other kid. Jake loves music.
It's gonna be alright.
He wants to be just like any other kid. He is every other kid, despite his cerebral palsy and other diagnoses. You'd never know that he has cerebral palsy. He's had a grade 4 brain bleed that quite honestly should have killed him 2 days after he was born. By the grace of God, he's still here and he's kicking.
He will grow and play more too.
At a children's hospital, a music therapist sees different individuals. Nurses and doctors can put in referrals for us to go see a patient. We don't see every patient, but we go see patients that might be having high pain or might be going through a procedure or are just having difficulty coping with their hospitalization. I think what's so cool about music is that it has rhythm and it can be predictable and it can be familiar in a very unfamiliar environment, which is the hospital. There's a constantly different, ever-changing environment. Music can provide containment to that space just through listening. It can affect heart rate and breathing rate to help you to physiologically calm.
Music's just a great therapy for Jake. It relaxed him in that he could pay attention to the music therapist while it allowed us as parents to talk to the doctor and not have to worry about calming Jake down ourselves and trying to talk to the doctor and listen. And
continuing to support CMN is supporting patients and their families and allowing them to have outlets and means of coping in the hospital. Patient care is well-rounded and should be, and giving to CMN helps provide that well-rounded care of not just the medical side, but that psychosocial side. We wouldn't be able to do what we do without Children's Miracle Network.
What?
Jake's just like any other kid.
Yeah, you really don't think, right? It is.
What's fascinating to me is that in a world and society and healthcare system that is just, based on what we're told, flooded with drugs and you got to just go see a doctor and the doctor will solve it and he'll prescribe you another pill and that'll solve your cerebral palsy or your autism or whatever the situation is that you may have. Yeah, they probably just need some ADHD medication and they'll be fine. We're using music and instruments and it's positively impacting
Absolutely.
their health, mental health, physical capabilities. Isn't that such a fascinating thing?
It is, and that's part of what we think is so great about the platform. Getting people to watch that 1.5-minute video, like, it just makes sense, right?
Yeah.
But the day of, we have all of these people in Buchanan Park, and we've even had a board certified music therapist get onto stage and do a demonstration with a miracle child and their family. Like, it's, there's not a dry eye in the place once people realize that this is a thing.
Yeah, it's really compelling. It really is.
Huh. Okay. Well, I feel like we wouldn't do any due diligence here if we wouldn't deep dive into the other one. Schreiber Pediatric.
Yeah, Schreiber Pediatric. Sure.
They are they're helping in a little bit of a different way? Are they using?
Yeah, so they're more, outpatient based, right? They're not a hospital.
Okay.
They have different occupational therapies that they offer. Their Lancaster campus here is right down the street from our office. And Danielle Sunday there is a great partner with our organization. Their Duck 501K, is it? No, sorry, their Duck 5K is coming up here the Sunday after, right? So they participate in Music Fest on Saturday, and then they have their annual duck race on Sunday. And just the lives that they've touched and the difference that they've made in families in Lancaster County is astonishing. We really encourage people to learn more about them as well.
Love it. They have a video here too. Should we watch theirs?
Absolutely.
Yeah, let's do it. Okay.
Nice work, friend. Cyrus is just a super fun, quirky, compassionate little dude. He's been that way since birth, essentially. Yeah, just a goofball.
Cyrus is 6 years old, loves YouTube, Minecraft, and jujitsus.
So when Cyrus was born healthy, absolutely fine, did all the usual testing they do in the hospital, and it wasn't till his 9-month checkup that the doctor just noticed what they call like a head lag. And so just concerns initially of something that they call hypotonia, which is just muscle weakness. They were like, worst case scenario, it's this spinal muscular atrophy, which is something neither of us had ever heard of. Yeah. So we got that diagnosis, and I think the easiest way to explain it is all the expectations that you had of them playing sports or an instrument or running around outside, all these things are completely gone.
When Cyrus got his diagnosis, it was a shock. And it settled into a new reality of, I'm still going to be able to do all these things with my son. It's just going to look different than how I thought it was going to.
Schreiber came up, and we got really lucky. His OT that he saw with early intervention was also a Schreiber OT. But it's just been, literally life-changing.
The facility was great. All of our therapists are very knowledgeable, and we're very focused on helping Cyrus grow.
Good job. One more of each. Arm, leg. It's been amazing to see him essentially go from being trapped in his own body, trapped literally and physically in one position, to now he can advocate, now he can communicate, but he's also been given the tools of, okay, if I can't do this the way everybody else does it, I can do it this way, and it doesn't have to look how it looks for everybody else.
Nice work, man.
I think having therapists that care more about Cyrus than just the appointment is the difference of feeling like a patient versus feeling like part of the family.
I am thankful to Schreiber for literally changing Cyrus's life, and I think in a way changing our life. Just the relationships that he's made, the confidence that he's gained, and just the happiness and laughter that he's able to have during these appointments have greatly affected both him and us.
My son, as well as my business partner, my best friend's son, they're both, ironically, both born with a little bit of autism. His son's unfortunately got it a little bit worse than mine. He's about 7 now and is still nonverbal. He does great. He can sing every Disney song under the book, but when it comes to the full sentences or asking for help, it's just not there for him. So we get it. We get it, and it's incredible that you all have partnered with such incredible networks and organizations to just kind of better further their mission and helping, and realizing that it's about the kids, and if they're not good, we're not good, and at the end of the day, it's kind of what it's all about, right?
Well, yeah, and I think one of the things that both Mitch and I are very committed to is the community that has existed here in Lancaster County, far beyond, our involvement, but seeing how that can be leveraged and the power of that community to bring people out and increase awareness. That's really what all of this is. The underlying thing is about, what we can do to amplify that impact with the power of the Lancaster County community.
Love it. I love that. Okay, real quick, then we'll wrap up the show. We know for a fact that we have five incredible acts hitting that stage. It is the Lancaster Music Festival, of course, but what else can we expect when we arrive there? Is there food? Are there vendors?
Oh
Other
yeah,
things going
no.
on?
So, I mean, just to start at the top in terms of food,
Yeah.
you've got Caballar, who has a food truck that is going to be there this year. You've got the Rendezvous Pizza shop that has a wood-fired unit. They're going to be there doing wood-fired pizza. You've got Cupcakes by Casey, who is back for her second year.
Nice.
She's going to be there. And then Lancaster Soft Pretzel, which used to be Dutch Country Soft Pretzel. Carmelina Stoltzfuth is a longtime friend and supporter. She lives in the area local as well. And so she's going to be there. I believe we have some cotton candy. We've got some Italian ice from Nooners, and we still have one food truck slot that is open. I hope I'm not forgetting anybody, but I don't think that I am. We've got a reptile and mammal exhibit that is interactive. We've got a magic show that happens at the kids stage for the Lancaster County Public Library, summer reading corner in between every one of the acts.
Do you know?
We've got
Do you know the name of your magician?
Papa Tater. He is from the local area and has been with us probably for 4 years now.
Okay.
So, and then Nick Polini does, a fire performance along with his wife. And we've got somebody from the Harrisburg area that's also going to be performing during the headliner. That's always kind of a special half hour that just grabs everybody's attention and throws it right on the people that are on fire. So what am I not thinking of? The bubble performance, when I say that kids and bubbles are an amazing match, that happens in the middle of the day as well, like a professional bubble performer.
Do you know do you know their name?
I do not. I apologize. I should.
I know one guy. I know one bubble performer. So I'm curious if it's him.
This is a woman who's back for the second year. And beyond that, we have a lot of breweries, distillers, wineries, Beer Hall Brewing, Our Town Brewing, New Trail Brewing, Evergreen out of the central Pennsylvania area, and then Lancaster Distilling down there at Zetropolis, as well as Grandview Wines out of Mount Joy. So they have all partnered as well to make product donations. That then we have a caterer, Lancaster Bartending, that comes in and runs our point of sale system, and we have a special occasion permit from the PLCB for that day as a 501c3 to be able to also generate sales from the bar. So that's another kind of niche, both for the general admission and VIP area, where we looked at it and said, we can do this and make additional funds to help support the work of the foundation. So
that's cool. Like just a temporary kind of pass thing. Yeah, I like that. Nice. Okay, gentlemen. So Lancaster Music Fest happening on September 6th this year. The name of the park is escaping me.
Yes, Buchanan Park, right there on Race Avenue and Buchanan Avenue. Well-known location in the city, and there's going to be some parking that's available just a couple of blocks away. Down Race Avenue. So if you can't find street parking, just keep heading down Race Avenue and follow the signs. It's a short walk back. We're going to have a drop-off area as well. So if you've got kids and you've got wagons and chairs and things, you'd be able to pull in for 5 minutes, drop everything off, and then the driver can go park the car, and only one person has to walk back instead of the whole family. So
nice, solid idea. I don't think actually I've ever seen or heard of that. So
it's the first year that we're doing it. So.
Yeah, no, perfect. Hey, no, great innovation. I love that. All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, if you haven't done so already, you need to get your tickets to Lancaster Music Fest 2025. They're on sale now. They can go to lancastermusicfest.com to buy those tickets, correct?
Absolutely. Yep.
Perfect. You're going to want to get them now because day of the show, you're going to pay more. So get them in advance.
Right.
Get them now. And if you want, I believe, a free t-shirt and some extra goodies, get a VIP pass, right?
Absolutely. Yeah.
And, of course, it is a family-friendly, adults, kids, any kids under 18 are free with an adult ticket, correct?
Yep, absolutely. Yeah, no, we want people to come out and bring the whole family and make it affordable and, help raise some money for Children's Miracle Network and Schreiber Pediatric.
Yes, awesome. Well, ladies and gentlemen, if you can make it, please get your tickets now. And if you can't, at least please support this episode, support the website, find Lancaster Music Fest on your local. You guys are on social media, Facebook?
We are, yeah. We're at on Facebook as well as Instagram.
Perfect. So even if you can't make it this year, just give them a follow. That way, you're not only showing your support, but hey, maybe next time around they'll pop up and we can see you there. Gentlemen, any other promotion, any other thing you want anyone to know? Your kind of last hurrah.
Yeah, just that we're really looking forward to seeing everybody in the park.
Awesome. Well, gentlemen, thank you so much for joining me today on yet another episode of the Tone Tailors Podcast. Ladies and gentlemen, as always, if you need anything from strings, guitars, amps, acoustics, electric, you know where to go. It's tonetailors.com. Always 24/7 online, and our new downtown Lancaster location. Just moved back to Lancaster. Good to be there. You can go visit JP and the boys in the shop if you want to demo any gear, any pedals, any guitars. As always, thank you guys. Thank you, Lancaster Music Fest. We can't wait. We can't wait to see the acts. We can't wait to have you guys back on. If we're doing it in 2026, we'll see you there.
Absolutely.
We'll have you back for another episode to promote that show, of course.
Hey, thanks so much.
Thanks for having us, Levi.
Have a great rest of your week, gentlemen.
Just stand me up on a firing line. And this one really made me lose my mind.